Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Two free Steam games that I want to highlight right now. One of them just came out and it's always gonna be free. However, this game isn't getting a lot of attention right now, but the people that have played it are saying very good things about it. The game's got a 91% positive reception on Steam, so that's very good. Again, it'll be free forever, but I did want to highlight that game. And another game is an early access title and it's free for a limited time. And if you add it to your library right now, of course, it'll be yours to own forever. Outside of that, I also want to highlight two other games that have recently seen Steam releases that are going a little bit under the radar, but games to add to your wish list and pick up sometime down the line when they are on sale. And lastly, Bethesda is returning to E3 this year, so I want to talk a little bit about that, what I want to see out of Bethesda coming into E3. We're just, a little over 2 months away from E3, and I think this E3 is going to be very, very important for Bethesda if they really want to change the narrative of how gamers perceive them right now after the disaster that was Fallout 76, and just generally them having a pretty negative reception, so I'll talk about that at the end of this video. First up, I know you guys are interested in the two free games, so Estranged Act 2 is free right now on Steam. This is an early access title, and I do believe if you add Act 2 to your library, Act 1 will also appear. Don't quote me on that, but that seems to be what's going around. This game, again, early access, and it follows the story of a fisherman stranded on a mysterious island during a violent storm. Little does he know his adventure has just begun, and the island is home to more than it first seems. This game continues after the events of Estranged Act 1. Estranged Act 1 is also listed and it's available for free right now, and it's a Half-Life 2 mod. However, this is a follow-up and you experience what the island has in store as you uncover the secretive corporation burrowing even deeper into their dangerous and haphazard operations. It's out an adventure game with puzzle elements, immersive story-driven environments, unique characters and narrative, familiar first-person shooter combat. Estranged Act 2 is built using Unreal Engine 4. Please check the system requirements before downloading, and they do note that this game is quite a bit more difficult to run than Act 1. However, if you have a recent PC, it's going to be super easy to run a quad-core Intel or AMD CPU, 2.5 GHz, 4 GB of RAM, a GTX 470 and above, or a Radeon HD 6870 and above, and then 6 GB of available hard drive space. Again, the game is available free right now, added to your library, and it will be yours to own forever. I think with this one, when it does come out of early access, they're going to ask you to pay for the game, so if you add it to your library right now, it's going to be yours to own forever, so you might as well take advantage of that. And next up, this game quietly released on Steam earlier this month, not to a lot of fanfare. However, I just noticed it, and I noticed it was free as well, and it's When the Darkness Comes. When the Darkness Comes is a walking simulator whose glitchy and dark tale tries to illustrate the hardships of depression and anxiety through a variety of imagery and digital landscapes. The game has a very positive reception on Steam, 91% positive, and the game touts a game without meaning, a game nobody should play. When the Darkness Comes is a walking simulator whose glitchy and dark tale tries to illustrate the hardships of depression and anxiety. A clock, a piano, and a girl. What do they all mean? What is meaning anyway? What has meaning? Do you have one? A path, a goal, something determined, predetermined, a light to follow. Discover a world filled with loneliness and fear, a world where despair breeds and hope dies. A world about you, about us, a world about humanity, and about life. The game does say it's more of an experience and it's not for everyone, and the experience explores themes such as depression, anxiety, verbal abuse, manipulative control, and suicide. So this is a pretty dark game in terms of thematics and presentation. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up that it is available. Again, I know it's not going to be for everyone, but I definitely think there's an audience for games like this that do try to explore a lot of dark themes. So check it out for yourself, and it's not like this is all too new in gaming. We've seen games before explore very, very dark themes, and When the Darkness Comes is just a free offering on that. I do notice that based on a lot of the reviews, the Steam reviews, mind you, they do tout it's less of a game and more of an experience, just as the description does, so that's something to note. And you'll actually notice that the system requirements for the game are quite hefty. Minimum GPU requirement, they tout an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970 and then a 1060 and up for recommended. That's a little odd, as then you have the RAM requirement at 2 GB at minimum and recommended. So figure that one out, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that as well. Moving on from that, I also want to let you guys know about a couple of games that piqued my interest on Steam. Thought we would really highlight a lot of these unsung gems in this video, and that is Rico. Rico is a game that I've been following for quite a bit, actually, because we don't get a lot of great cooperative games that are designed for 2 players these days. Of course, we did get a Way Out last year, but since then, I mean, how many cooperative games have we really gotten? Not too many. And Rico definitely acts as one. Rico is like a buddy cop movie with an awesome art style. The art style totally reminds me of something like Borderlands, and I really dug Borderlands art style, so that is really cool. In Rico, you play as 2 cops. There's one case and only 24 hours to bust the bad guys. You become a loose cannon police detective and face off with criminal gangs in a procedurally generated action movie FPS. Join forces with a friend and take down those crooks buddy cop style. well. The game was released for $20. There is a 10% off discount right now, knocking it down to $18. I probably wouldn't pay that price for this game, especially because you want to convince a friend to get it as well. I imagine a game like this, it will be available in a humble bundle down the line, or it'll be available pretty cheap pretty quickly. It released 4 days ago, and it's not like a lot of people are checking it out. It's only got 98 Steam reviews, but 75% of that is positive. Again, a game to add to your wish list. Pick it up down the line. I would say $5 or less, especially because then you can convince a friend to buy it too, and that's how you're going to have the best experience possible. I should also note that the game does have local cooperative play, so if you do want to play the game locally, you can do that as well, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people like to do that on PC. That's why I always harken back to the point you gotta convince a friend to buy it, since chances are you're gonna play this game online, but nonetheless, local co-op is available in the game as well. And lastly, this is a game that's getting quite a bit of attention right now, and that's Hypnospace Outlaw. Hypnospace Outlaw is a pretty cool 1990s themed simulation and point-and-click title. It has you play as an enforcer, and thank you for enlisting in the Hypnospace Patrol Department. As the world falls into its slumber, Hypnospace becomes a bustling global village. Virtual streets aren't going to police themselves, and you play as the police. Hypnospace Outlaw is a 90s internet simulator in which you scour Hypnospace's wide variety of weird and wonderful websites to hunt down wrongdoers, while also keeping an eye on your inbox, avoiding viruses and adware, and downloading a plethora of apps that may or may not be useful. As a part of your job as a Hypnospace enforcer, you'll be watching out for copyright infringement, internet bullying, and more, with reports and rewards coming direct from the Hypnospace Patrol Department to your inbox. You'll also have some spare time where you can customize your Hypno OS desktop however you see fit, with a variety of downloads, wallpapers, screensavers, and helper bots to keep you company. The game is just super interesting from a premise standpoint. 99% of the Steam reviews have been positive. 99% is something you see very, very rarely. Now, that is just based on 194 Steam reviews, so not a gigantic pool to work from, but still, that's very positive. And this is another game released at $19.99, 10% off as a launch discount. So it is available for $18. Probably would wait on a discount for this one as well. Did also get an 82 on Metacritic, so that's super positive as well. And of course, this is a game, just judging off the visuals, any PC can really run this. A lower end PC is gonna have no problem. But another game that I imagine in the coming weeks, it's gonna get lost in the shuffle, so I did want to give you guys a recommendation on that and add that to your library as well. Alright, so that's all the talk about Steam games. 2 free games, 2 games I think you guys should add to your wish list. And lastly, I do want to quickly give you guys a heads up about Bethesda's E3 conference. That'll be happening, yes, Sunday, June 9th, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Bethesda returns to Los Angeles for their 5th annual Bethesda E3 showcase. They're touting that it's gonna be a hell of a night, and they've got an in-depth look at Doom Eternal plus much, much more. Now, this E3 conference, I think more so than any other E3 conference this year, is very important because it's really gonna spin the narrative on how people view Bethesda. Now, also, being the fact that Sony and EA are skipping out on E3 this year, so it's really gonna be Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Microsoft at this point. I don't think I'm missing anybody that big, but those are gonna be the big 3 at E3 this year. Bethesda's gonna have a gigantic light shine on them, and after the debacle that was Fallout 76, you know they want to leave gamers something substantial to get excited about. However, because they only tout Doom Eternal, I really expect that a lot of the talk on the open world games a lot of gamers are excited for is gonna be left out. I see people thinking that the Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna come out this year or next year. Guys, I don't think that game's coming out till like 2021, 2022, because we know that game is gonna come out after Starfield. That's their new IP that they're gonna put out, and that's probably gonna come out in 2020, and I imagine at the earliest Elder Scrolls 6 will come out a year after that, probably 2 years after that. So honestly, temper your expectations when it comes to the Elder Scrolls 6. I doubt we're gonna see that at E3. But hey, Doom Eternal is a game to be super excited for. Doom was an awesome game when it was released back in 2016. The multiplayer didn't vibe with me all too hard, but I thought the single player was so good, and I'm super excited to check out Doom Eternal. But more so, I do think they're gonna show more content for Fallout 76, so I'm curious in terms of how the reception for that is gonna be. I want to know if they're gonna make any major announcements like Fallout 76 going free to play. I could totally see an announcement like that coming. I mean, at this point, who's really buying Fallout 76? They need to rejuvenate that game somehow, so it's really just a crap show no matter how you spin it. However, I think Bethesda's E3, at the very least, it's gonna be very interesting in terms of how Bethesda is viewed coming out of that, because there's potential for the narrative to completely change, or for the narrative's push to just continue going on and people just looking down on Bethesda going forward. We'll see how it turns out. Again, Bethesda's E3 conference will be happening Sunday, June 9th. And that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, check out Estranged Act 2, check out When the Darkness Comes, a pretty interesting experience. Definitely not for everyone, but a cool freebie nonetheless. Rico is available right now, as is Hypnospace Outlaw. 2 games I probably wouldn't recommend you to pick up right now. Not even playing them, however, just knowing how game prices go, I imagine these games will go on sale rather quickly. but definitely titles to add to your wish list. And Bethesda is coming back to E3 Sunday, June 9th, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8:30 Eastern. Let's see what they bring, because they really need to bring out the big guns for this one. That's going to conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can always leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.